Hi guys, this is the second video of the pre-summer Suqqu collection. The last video I did, I featured the eyeshadow quad that had that really beautiful yellow shadow in it, and I also used one of the single cream shadows with that. That was the warmer of the two. Today I'm going to use the other one. In today's video I'm going to be using this beautiful green quad. I haven't swatched it yet, I haven't tried it, and I am dying to use it. I've already got all my base makeup on, foundation, bronzers, powders. I'm using a different foundation than I did in the video when I used the other Suqqu quad because it's quite early in the morning here and I've got quite a lot of things to do, and I've just put on a foundation with my oily skin that I know I won't need fussing around or touching up. And it's a little bit more humid today than it has been, even though it's autumn here. So I just wanted a foundation that looks good and is fuss free. So that's the one that I chose. And everything that I have put on my face and I'm going to put on my face today, I will have listed and linked in the description box below. And also the curly hair is gone. I thought I would try my curls for about, well, I did it for a few days, up to about a week, and I just prefer my hair straight, and there's just as much work with my curly hair as there is with straightening it, and I just prefer it straight. And then if I want a little bit of a curl in it, then probably tomorrow I'll put the ear wrap through it, but I definitely prefer it this way. So yesterday I used the single. These are in this new cream formula, and these are called the Suqqu Tone Touch Eyes. The one that I used yesterday is this one, and that is number 112, and that is the warmer of the two. Now I have got the other one as well, so I'm just going to take it out of its packaging, and this one is number 113. So I'll just open it up so you can take a look at it. I will hold it up to the camera so you can take a closer look at it. This is a beautiful deep brown and cooler than the other one. So the other video was the first time that I used the single cream eyeshadows, and I thought they were really beautiful, and I think they really add something to the eyeshadow quad as well. Now I applied this using a Sonia G brush. It's one of her Fusion eye brushes, and I think it applied beautifully. I've also seen videos where people use this and apply it just using their finger, and it applies really well that way too. So I just turned the light down and holding it a bit closer so you can take a good look at it. And this is a beautiful cool tone colour, and it is like an espresso brown. And I've just closed it and turned it the other way. Hopefully it doesn't reflect too much. And just below there is a coloured strip there, and they match the colour of the shadow inside. This, and like the other products, are made in Japan, and this has a shelf life of 12 months from date of opening, and there is 2 grams of product. So I'll swatch this on my arm so you can take a look, and I'll also swatch the other one again. So I'll swatch this one first. This is the other one that I used, so we'll swatch that one. As I was saying in my other video, these sort of have a little bit of a tacky feeling. I think that's why they make such a good base for the eyeshadows. But as you can see, they are blendable. And now we'll take a look at this really lovely, this espresso brown. Really, really lovely. And I'll just blend it out a little bit so you can see how easily they blend. So just so you can see it with the light turned down a bit, this is number 112, this is the warmer, and this is 113, and this is an espresso brown. So just like in the other video, I'm going to use the Sonia G, this is the Fusion brush, to apply the shadow. I'm going to put this on first before I use the eyeshadow quad. And out of the Sonia G Fusion series for the eye brushes, this one is called the Blender brush, but I will have this listed and linked below as well. So the other shade applied really beautifully using the brush, so I imagine this one will too. What I might do in this video is on the other eye, I might apply it using my finger just so you can see how it goes. I haven't tried that yet because I just think the brush does a really beautiful job. And I think the shadow blends out really beautifully. When I swatch them, as I said, they do feel a little bit tacky, and that's why I thought they might be difficult to blend out. But I find them really easy to blend out. So for the first time on the other eye, I'm going to use my finger to place this shadow on. I don't use my fingers often for applying eye makeup. Sometimes I do it if I want a little bit more pigment out of a shade, and I often use my finger if I'm using a topper. But apart from that, I don't really use my finger much. So I sort of feel like it's a bit awkward putting it on, but that's because I'm not really used to it. But it blends really well using your finger. I just feel like I can be a little bit more precise when I use the brush, just so I can get that really soft gradient. But it does apply really beautifully using your finger as well. So either one, if you have one of these brushes, this has got the natural and the synthetic fibers in it, then that does a really beautiful job, or you can easily put it on just using your finger as well. So now let's take a look at this beautiful eyeshadow that I've been dying to use. I'll just quickly hold up eyeshadow quad that I used in my last video, and this actually took me by surprise, this quad. This is absolutely stunning. You've got the pinks and the top shade here and this beautiful soft pink, and then you've got like a aubergine shade here and this yellow, and all together they are just stunning. So if you want to take a look at that video and also using the other shade in that single cream eyeshadow, I'll pop the link up here for you to take a look at. So I'm just going to take the two applicators that come with these quads, and in the other video I did use the sponge applicator tip, so they do come in handy sometimes. So here is number 124, and this is really beautiful, and I had a lot of trouble trying to get my hands on this palette. When they were first released at Selfridges, they sold out very, very quickly, and when they were restocked, I was quick enough to be able to get my hands on this, but again, it was sold out, I think, within about 10 minutes of them being restocked. This is also now for sale at Harrods and also Liberty London as well, this collection, but I'm pretty sure that this has been sold out. Sometimes these items are restocked, and if they are, I will let you know, and I do that two ways, with my community page and also on my Instagram as well. I think this is just such a gorgeous looking palette. So the Suqqu Signature Color Eyes Quad, this is number 124. This is made in Japan and has a shelf life of 12 months from date of opening, and just has some really beautiful greens in there. And this whole Suqqu collection is called the Sunflower Wonder Collection, and the other eye quad that I use, that's more based around the actual sunflower itself. I think that this quad represents the stem of the sunflower, so the whole collection is just absolutely gorgeous. So now I'm going to swatch this on my arm. I'll do it back here first, and then I will turn my light down a bit and hold it closer so you can take a really good look. So I'm going to swatch left to right and top to bottom. The first shade in the Suqqu quads is normally a topper shade, so I'll probably have to go over this twice. So I'm just going to, this is one swatch, and then I'll just go over that again. And the second shade, so this one here is, it's a light green, and this one here is sort of like the lighter color of the stem, so it's a light green. And next color is, I would say that's sort of like a moss green. These are really, really beautiful. And then the last shade is a brown, but it does have some green sparkle in it. So the light's turned down and a little bit closer so you can take a good look. So these are the two singles, and this is from the quad. So I'm going to take the Sonia G. This is the Classic Crease, and I'm going to go into this shade first. This is the light green. It's really, really beautiful. And as I was saying in my other video, the Suqqu shades, they are buildable. So this is like, as I was saying, the lighter colour on the stem, the sunflower. It's like a grass green. It's really, really beautiful, and I am loving those single cream eyeshadows for underneath. Next I'm going to take the Refa 14 and go into the shade here. This is the brown. It has that green sparkle in it, so I'm going to put this in my outer corner, and I'm going to put it through the crease, and I'm going to take it just slightly above as well. And I'm just going to dip into that shade again and build it up. The Suqqu shades are quite subtle, so you can have them quite subtle if that's what you really like, but they are also really buildable as well. I think they're just gorgeous, and this one, just like the other Suqqu quad and the other ones that I own, just blends really, really beautifully. Then we'll take the Refa number 3 and stay with the shade, and I'm going to run this under my lower lash line. I'm just go in again, and I'm just going to build it up a little bit more in the outer corner. Then we'll take the Sonia G. This is a soft shader, and I'm going to go into this shade here and put that over the rest of my lid, just from the inner corner just through to the middle. And then I've just wiped down the Refa 3, and I'm going to stay with that shade, and I'm going to run a little bit of that under my lower lash line as well, just from in here, just out through towards the middle. And then finally I'm going to go into the topper shade and just use it like I did with the other quad in the other video, and I'm just going to tap this all over my eyelid. I always find the topper shades just add that little bit extra to the eye look. And then I'm just going to stay with the topper shade and use the applicator sponge, the one that is more pointed, and I'm going to put this in the inner corner. So now I'm going to put on some eyeliner and mascara, and then we'll take a look at this blush again. So I did use 2 different coloured eyeliners. They're both Chanel ones. On the upper lash line I used Espresso, and on the bottom lash line I pulled out, I think it's called Khaki Metal. Yes, it's called Khaki Metal, and I think together with the eyeshadow it's just beautiful. The eyeshadow look is just gorgeous. Such a beautiful colour story, and as I was saying before, I do love those cream single shadows underneath. I really think they just add that something to the eyeshadow, and it's just really, really beautiful. So now let's take a look at the blush. This is the same one that I used in the other video with the other beautiful Suqqu quad, the one with that yellow shade in it. And this is number 139, and this is a rose brown. It is really, really beautiful. Now in my other video I used a Suqqu brush on that's quite fluffy. I used the F03, but today I'm going to use a Sonia G one, and I'm going to use the classic crease and see how it applies with this. And just before I apply it, I did do swatches of this blush in my other video. If you want to take a look at it, I did swatches of the deepest, middle and lightest, and then all mixed together. So I'm Just going to go and just press into the middle part here. This is quite pigmented, this blush, but it is really, really beautiful. What I quite like about using the classic cheek brush, this one sometimes, is you just have a little bit more control. I do like swirling the blush over as well, but I do like this brush just for that, like I was saying, a little bit more control, and you can just lightly sweep the blush to buff it out, and then I also do that just by tapping it out as well. Then I'm also going to do what I did in my other video and just go at the lightest end here, and it just adds just a very subtle highlight. This is a really gorgeous blush. I like the look of the other blush as well. It has yellow in it. I think it would be really gorgeous, but it was sold out at Selfridges. I think it may be available at Harrods, but unless I do an order and get quite a few items, I just don't want to get that one thing from Harrods. So I might have a look later today, see if it's still there. If it is, I may pick it up, or I may have a look at the Liberty London site and see if it's available there, because the other blush was really gorgeous too. So now let's take a look at the lipstick. In the other video, I put on a Chanel lipstick because I only picked up one of the shades. And this is shade number 117. And this is the Vibrant Rich lipstick. It has 3.7 grams of product. It is made in Japan. And I was just trying to find what the shelf life was on it, but I can't see anything on the outside packaging. Maybe it's in very small writing. I imagine it'll probably be something like 12 months. So this is the outside packaging of the Vibrant Rich lipstick. I have bought one of these before, and I do prefer this over their matte lipsticks. And here is the shade. I think this will go beautiful with today's eye look, and also the blush as well. I'll also do a swatch of this on the back of my hand. So this is the shade, and it just has a little bit of a touch of rose in there as well. Really, really beautiful. So here is the final look, and altogether I just think this is really beautiful. The eyeshadow quad is absolutely stunning, and I am in love with those cream single shadows. I think they are absolutely gorgeous, and I definitely think they just give that little bit extra to the eyeshadow look. I also like this eyeshadow with the two different shades of liner that I used as well. The blush is beautiful, and it goes on really beautifully using this brush, the Sonia G, the Classic Cheek, or the Suqqu one that I used in my other video. Both ways it applies really, really beautifully. And I do like the formula of these Vibrant Rich lipsticks. They aren't overly glossy or anything like that, but they are very comfortable on the lips. And as I was saying, I do prefer this formula over their matte formula. But this whole collection is just absolutely stunning. And I think I may have mentioned it in a Will I Buy It video, not the last one I did, the one before, but Suqqu in May are bringing out their summer collection. It has the white packaging. If I can find a photo of it, I will pop it up here. That looks really gorgeous as well, and I am interested in picking up as much of that collection as I can. Hopefully this time at Selfridges I'll be onto it a bit more quicker, and I'll be able to get the items that I want, but I'm sure it's going to be really beautiful. There's also some nail polishes in there as well. Don't know whether Selfridges sell the nail polishes all the time. Probably have to wait for those, maybe if it goes to Harrods or Liberty London. Sometimes Cult Beauty sell the new Suqqu items as well, but this time I don't think they are, but really looking forward to that summer collection. Such a beautiful brand, Suqqu. I've also used a couple of their skincare items. One is the Violume. It's like a pre-cleanse cream, and that is one of the most beautiful cleansers, pre-cleansers that I've ever used. It's really, really gorgeous. Probably not the most gorgeous one I've used, but it's definitely up there. It is really, really beautiful. And their makeup just never disappoints. From what can look a little bit average in a quad, although the green one didn't look average at all, I knew that was going to be gorgeous, and I do think it looks gorgeous on the eyes. That sometimes if it can look a little bit average, they always tend to just go together and just give these really beautiful looks. I also love their formula that they are mature skin friendly. You can get beautiful sparkle without emphasizing any texture. Just such a gorgeous, gorgeous brand. So that's it for today's video. I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.